you come across, take the wrist, and into the arm. Okay? One more time. You're here. Reach up. Grab the belt. Right? Again, he's going to, right from here, the only really way for him to escape is to turn his hips away from you. Right? Is to try to go away from you. So what you want to do is just reach out, pull him back into you. Okay? And as soon as you get him back in far enough, come over with your elbow here and put it right behind his knee. This way. Okay? Place your hand on the mat. Right? Now you have full control right here. Okay? And if you create enough pain, his grip is going to break. Take it with the inside of your elbow. Okay? And just fall straight back this time. Here. Until he taps. From the same position of tying up the belt. Okay, with your hand here. Okay? We have an option of pinning the opponent as opposed to just getting this arm bar. Okay, and you also call him if you pin him for 30 seconds. So what I like to do here is from this position, same thing, pull him in tight. Here, alright? What you're going to do now is just look for the right time. Say he doesn't give up this grip. Say he holds on tight. What you do is just place your hand on the mat, bring your leg back, and push into him. Okay? Now you have your knees squeezed tight together, all your weight on his lower stomach, and you have his legs trapped behind your leg. And it's very difficult to escape that twist. Very difficult. Okay, now, use the time. The only thing for him to do is to let go of this grip and turn away. And as he does that, you come back and get the arm. To give you the detail of that last move, I'm going to go through it and show it in a little bit more detail. Okay. Again, the belt, hold the belt. Okay. Secondly, you want to have the pressure against the head. Okay. If you lose this pressure, he's going to sit back up into you, and you'll lose it. So you always have to have this pressure right here. Next, as he tries to go away, you're going to have to reach up, right, and pull him back, one at a time, one leg at a time, this way. Okay. Now in Judo, as I come up, okay, as I'm placing my hand on the mat and pushing back up into him, this is an osaikomi or a pin. If I hold him here for 30 seconds, the match is over. So he doesn't have much of a choice, right? The only way for him to escape is to let go here, right, and turn away from me. And at that specific time when he lets go, all I do is come back, grab the wrist, and now I'm back into my Juji Katami, where I started out before. This position here, okay, when I have control of him and I'm up into the pin, okay, very important. I cannot, let's move over here. I cannot leave the hip on the ground this way. If I leave my hip on the ground, he's going to come into me and on top. So my hip, very important, that my hip up here, right on top of him, right in the lower part of his stomach. Okay, and this leg here has to squeeze tight, right, controlling his head. All right, it's very difficult to get out of this position. Okay, and from here, I just wait for the right moment. He pops off, and then I fall back and catch the arm. Another variation of this same belt grip is that you can use into what we call tate shio, or what jiu-jitsu players call the mounted position. Okay. When you're in this position, here, right? Again, pressure. You come up into the opponent, right? Everything is on his stomach. You're putting the opponent. Okay. Sometimes, for some reason, he'll get this arm you'll start to lose it. Okay. And at that particular time, what you want to do is sit back on your left leg. Okay. Come over here. Here. Sit back here on your knee, right? And then from here, this arm's going to come through and push this elbow up, and your other leg is going to come around into this position. we call tate shio. If I can hold him here for 30 seconds, I win the match. Okay, so this is a popular position also in judo. In jiu-jitsu, they work many different from this position. A lot of the arm bars, and a lot of the chokes are all basically the same in judo. So again, from here, okay, in this position, I start to lose the arm. He starts to pull it out for whatever reason. I sit back, sit back and lock in his wrist, okay? And at the last second, I let go here. Now I have his wrist locked in. Now what I want to do is come and grab his bicep so he can't come around this leg here, right? So I grab his bicep here, come into this position, I'll push it over, right? What we call kata gatami, right? Tate shio gatami with the shoulder. Let's look at some options against an opponent defending the juji gatami. As I'm coming in for the initial juji gatami, where I reach under, grab the wrist, apply the pressure. Okay, then he's waiting with this arm. Okay, he doesn't want me to come over the top of his head. So as I'm coming over the top of his head, a lot of times he'll hold on to this leg, right? So that stops you from picking it up, okay, and turning him over. So he's going to hold on tight with that leg. Okay, what I want to do is I want to pull down my own lapel and pull this arm out as much as possible. Next, I'm going to pick myself up, right, into this position. Okay, this foot here, right, is hooked underneath here. So I'm going to use this as a lever. Okay, all I do now is I keep moving my hand back, and I'm sitting on the top of his head until he flips over this way. Okay? Now a lot of times they'll try to hook your leg this way. So you have to watch out. As soon as you flip over, right, you've got to move this quickly and then pull here. Okay, to get the juji gatami. Let's look at this move again. As I come in, my hand comes through again, the typical juji gatami. As I'm coming over the top, he's going to grab my leg and pop his head up. Now he's got control of my leg. Okay, so I can't go forward. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is reach up, grab my own lapel, just pull this down, grab my own lapel here. And what I want to do now is I want to sit on the top of his head, and again, use this leg over here as an ankle to pry. Okay, I'm going to roll back, okay, into the juji position. Okay, but now notice this time, my leg is on the inside. Okay, all the other times I was doing it was on the outside. So this poses more problems for me, right? And there's other solutions. So the other solution to this is when this leg happens to be on the inside, you basically wait for him to bridge, and as he bridges up, right, you're going to take your right foot, right leg, slide it underneath his body, reaching up, grabbing the knee to help, and this is going to put you right into a sankaku, which is a choke, and then there's many variations of this particular move right here. Let's go back to where we were, right here, legs inside. Okay, now this is a little bit harder to break this when the leg is on the inside. Okay, because number one, you don't have the pressure on the head, right? So he's going to be able to roll into you a little bit easier, right? So you really have to watch it. At this point, as he rolls up into you, right, you've got to brace yourself with your hand here, okay? So he rolls up in, right, he comes back down. Finally, when he realizes he can't go that way, he's going to try to bridge and go this way, and that's when you come underneath, right? Figure for your legs, and you're in sankaku, which is a triangle choke. Let's look at another variation. Now as I'm coming in for my juji gatami, right, I apply the pressure. Okay, now perhaps I know that this guy is always grabs my leg. So instead of giving him the chance, instead of me coming over the top this way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay tucked in a ball here, right? And I'm going to post my head. I'm going to pull my gi down, right? Just enough to grab my own gi. Okay? Now from this position, I still have the pressure here, right? But I don't want to give him my leg. So what I do from here is I just come on the opposite side, right? Opposite side here, and keep my knee on top of his head so he can't grab it. Okay? Then from here, what I do is I lift up, arch up, and what I'm going to do is just sit back. Sit back. This way. Into the juji. Okay? One more time. Okay, the big difference is instead of trying to come underneath, right? And he pops his head up. What I'm going to do is going to stay on top. But again, the key to this move, all right, is to keep this leg locked in here, this way, right? And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit on the back of his shoulder blade, okay, this way, here. Okay. Slowly, what I can do is start up on my knee and then come up like this. Okay, now he cannot go this way anymore because I've got him trapped. And I just slowly wait and wait and wait. He flips over. Now I'm going to get into a little bit of how you defend yourself against the person who's coming over the top for a jujigatame. There's basically 3 or 4 ways that I used to use. It's very tough once the opponent gets your arm stretched out. There's very few escapes. So it's very important in the beginning that you don't let your opponent secure the leg in or secure the wrist. Okay, but the first and most basic of any newaza or any grappler should be to turn and face your opponent. So as soon as you feel your opponent touch your back, you need to turn and face him and gain control of one of the lapels or his sleeve, or gain control of him with your legs. Okay, this is very important because suppose I came in for an attack and I missed the attack. As soon as I feel him touching me, right, I need to quickly, what I want to do is just jump out, turn and face him, and pull him into me. Okay, now I can see my opponent, what kind of moves he's going to do, plus I have 2 hands and 2 feet, right, to defend myself. Now I have 4 ways to defend myself instead of no ways. Okay, so this is the worst position a person can be in. Okay, now suppose I just can't face him. Suppose he lays all his weight on me. Okay, and starts to work this footing here. The main thing is I want to keep my elbow tucked right here into my knee. Okay, so there's no space where he can get in there, right? And then secondly, I use my other hand to put, every time he comes in, I push his his ankle out. Okay? Again. This way. Okay? Third is, as the opponent comes in, okay, say he comes over the top and gets your arm in this position here, right? I want to reach up. If I end up in this position, all I want to do is hold on to his leg and perhaps hold on to my lapel, right? Pull my own lapel in so he can't break my arm off. Pull his leg back into me here. Okay, the main thing is I want to keep moving into him, right? Keep moving in. So that it's him a little bit off balancing for him. The minute I try to pull my arm out, he's going to get the arm. Right? So I want to create this tightness right here, okay? And just keep pushing in, pushing in, pushing in. He may turn over, push, until you feel the right time, right? Then you can pull your arm up. Okay, once you're in this position here where your opponent has you tight, in this, right like this, okay? What I like to do is just hold on to my own lapel, okay? What I do is I bridge up a little bit, push the ankle up over my head. Now I'm going to use my neck, the back of my neck, to pinch his leg to the. So now he can't apply this pressure that is very important for jujigatame. So you've taken that one one away from him, okay? Keep holding onto the ankle and apply the pressure here, okay? Now from this position here, once you have this pressure here, now you can push the other ankle down to here, okay? Now you've got spread apart, and that knee, all-important knee pressure in Jujigatami is taken away, okay? Now from here, I never let go of this. What I do is I reach up and pull down on him so he can't apply any pressure against my neck. Pull down here and hold until I feel the right time, then I pull in here, okay? And that, by pulling him forward, allows you enough space to pull your arm out. Just to go over that last move in detail, the best time to get this leg behind your head is as you're rolling, as the opponent's rolling, okay? But if it ends up this way, and you're able to bridge up and put it behind your head, that's the second best way. So you want to pin, again, you want to keep your head cocked in this position. Sometimes you can even bridge up, okay, and keep this leg pinned to the ground. At the same time, you're bridging up and applying pressure. You take this ankle, and you want to push it straight down in between your legs and figure four it here, okay? Now, next, I reach up, grab here, here, anywhere to pull the opponent down, okay? By pulling him down, right, it creates space inside. Remember, he wants my elbow to be put right into his chest, and by me pulling him down, it lowers that elbow into his stomach, okay? And from here, what I want to do is bridge a little bit, and then when I release my bridge, I turn out, okay, this way. Hopefully into a superior position here. Okay, now this last stitch effort, okay, the last way to get out of Jujigatami is kind of just what I said, a last stitch effort, where if all else fails, and this is the only way you have out, then this is what you can do, okay? You're holding on to your gi, or you're holding on to your own arm. Now he's squeezing and he's pulling back, right? So he doesn't know when I'm going to let go of this arm. So at that slight second where he's pulling and I automatically let go, that creates a little bit of space. Okay. So from here, he's pulling. I have to switch my hips over and come on top. So basically what I'm doing is he's pulling my arm this way. I know when I'm going to let go, so that creates the space. And as soon as I let go, I have to turn my wrist out this way, right? And at the same time, I have to switch my hips over, right? This way, onto my stomach, and then hopefully out of the Jujigatami, okay? Let's try it in full speed here. One more time for the last move. Basically, the strongest hold I can have is probably my lapel, okay? But secondly, if for some reason, okay, I cannot bring this leg over to the back of my head, okay, and I know that this is the last thing I can do. The second best thing I can do is reach up and pull him forward, okay? And as I'm pulling him forward, he's still pulling back, right? So I'm creating this little tug of war here, okay? But so by doing this, I'm making him pull a little bit harder, okay? And at that split second, when I let go of both my lapel and his lapel, okay? And at the same time I let go, I have to turn. I don't let him get control of my hand, okay? So from here, I'm pulling down. He lets go. I turn, and at the same time, my leg comes up and over.
Kelly, and I welcome this tape, which is about an extremely interesting study of a very versatile and rather ignored arm lock, Wakigatami, and its counterpart, Yushiro Wakigatami. The last score you just saw from the Connecticut State Championships was a classic example of a Wakigatami which began in the standing position and ended on the mat. It was executed by a student of Mr. Sheena's, a Christian Zero from the Stanford Dojo. Several years ago, I researched and developed some arm lock training drills and an arm lock kata. And it was during this research I found Wakigatami to have such versatility of application that I decided to research it further. From this investigation, I discovered over 70 situations that Wakigatami, Yushiro Wakigatami, could be applied from. And because Wakigatami, Yushiro Wakigatami, epitomizes the enormous depth and breadth that there is to the study of Judo, I decided to begin the Judo Workshop video series, 3 tapes about this versatile, powerful and practical arm lock. This tape number 1, contains Wakigatami applications from holding and defense situations along with the basic technique. I appreciate that many viewers are well versed with the arm lock Wakigatami, but for the sake of completeness I shall begin by reviewing the basic technique. This definitive study of Wakigatami is intended for the experienced judo instructor and student. It has assumed Japanese terminology and references such as bridge and roll escape, hands and knees position, etc. are understood. Wakigatami. Wakigatami viewed from Yuki's side. Wakigatami viewed from Yuki's front. Yushiro Wakigatami. Yushiro Wakigatami viewed from Yuki's side. Yushiro Wakigatami viewed obliquely from Yuki's side. Key points when applying Wakigatami and Yushiro Wakigatami. 1. Position of body. The positioning of the body is of paramount importance. Tori's body must be placed as far forward as possible, so Tori's groin is positioned under Yuki's armpit. If the body is positioned too far back, away from the armpit, the arm lock cannot effectively be applied. When the position of the body is correct, the arm lock is applied instantaneously. 2. Position of the pressure on the arm. Pressure is applied to the arm at a point near Yuki's elbow, between the elbow and shoulder. Tori's side, as indicated, makes contact with this point when applying the arm lock. If pressure is applied on the shoulder, the resultant action will produce an illegal shoulder lock. Position of elbow. pinky and natural bend of the elbow joint are directly in line with each other. For maximum effectiveness, pressure should be applied on the elbow joint directly opposite the natural bend of the elbow. Although it is usually done by feel, a good guide when applying the arm lock is to pull or push the arm in the direction of Yuki's pinky. When the pinky and natural bend of the elbow is upwards, the pull is upwards towards Tori. When the pinky and natural bend of the elbow is horizontally towards Tori, the pull is horizontally towards Tori.